Today's episode is brought to you by Kinda Funny on Spotify. Did you know that our shows are in video on Spotify? Now you do. Please go follow all of our shows, Kinda Funny Podcast, In Review, Games Daily, and Gamescast. It'll really help us out, and it's free.
Today, in the nerdy news you need to know about, a new Metroid Prime 4 trailer has dropped. Switch 2 continues to be the biggest console launch ever, and Hyrule Warriors reviews are in. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Vote if you're here in the United States. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. New York Game Awards nominated, a.k.a. Leftover Poppy Blessing, Adioye Jr.
Good day, Greg.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I got 4 things for you.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Okay. Here we go.
I forgot one of them already. As we were going live, I saw this game pop up called Hyper Demon PvP. Wario64 tweeted about it. It's out on Steam for free, I think, as of today. I believe it's just a PvP mode for a game, Hyper Demon, that I assume it's been out for a while. But I saw this, and I'm like, this looks fucking sick. Hyper Demon PvP is a free online 1v1 FPS. Master simple but deep mechanics and defeat opponents in intense duels to climb the global leaderboards. Looks like just a fast-paced first-person shooter situation, like a Doom, but it's PvP.
Interesting.
I'm all about it.
Okay.
I just want to shout that out.
Send the, what's it called? Hyper Demon? What? No, I'll send it to
Hyper Demon PvP. I want.
Hyper
This is one of those
Demon
ones I want to learn more about it. I'll send it to the assets, the Steam page, if you want to learn about it together. That's one of the things.
That's one of the things.
Thing number 2.
Yeah.
We won our second volleyball game of the season.
Come on,
night.
everybody. Get it together. Get those hands together.
We're 2-0 right now.
Put them in the chat.
I'm feeling pretty confident about this season. I think we're going to go all the way. I think we're going to go to the playoffs.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, this Hyper Demon game looks fucking insane. If you're a first-person shooter fan, if you're, they call them boomer shooters. You hear that term? Boomer shooters?
No, I
think it's like the Doom or like the kind of old school style, like PV arcade or arena style first-person shooters. Looks fun. Looks cool. So that was the second thing.
Fair enough.
Third thing, last night I also beat Hades 2.
Round of applause again.
Finally rolled credits on Hades 2. It feels really good. It's one of those ones where
it worked because it was a one-shot. In real life, this one's over here just sad.
It's one of those things where I enjoyed a game so much that rolling credits has left me with an empty feeling of, man, I just had the time of my life. And it's over now. Yeah, I can go back and play more Hades 2, obviously, but it's I hit the finish line, you know. And so like now I'm like, wow, what am I gonna do now? What am I gonna do with my life?
What are you gonna do? I mean, if only there wasn't 3,000 more games coming out.
Yeah, but none of them are Hades 2.
That's true.
None of them are Hades 2.
One of them will be Moonlighter 2 soon, though. How about that?
When does that come out?
November teens-ish, double digits. There's a 1 in front of the number, so it's somewhere. It's close. It's soon.
Okay.
I mean, it's November already.
I forgot the 4th thing. I thought I'd remember it.
Dude, welcome to Gregway.
The 4th thing. Do you ever sit down and think that Andy Cortez is holding back his best work for his own merch?
I do.
Because like this shirt is fucking awesome.
This shirt is fucking awesome. I'm wearing one. If you're an audio listener, I'm wearing Andy's new crew neck sweater, the Nitro Rifle, and he's got the Nitro Rifle NR there, and then the Spurs colors.
It looks real good.
Dust or something on me.
It
looks real good. Yeah, I like it. Okay, good enough. We got a new shirt, kindafunny.com/store. It's the Pokeball, but it's the Kinda Funny logo, smiley. But don't sue us. That Pokemon, don't sue us.
I don't know.
I'm good. Lots going on this morning. Embargoed. You know, I'm trying to run around, do these million things, get it all set up. But I'm happy to be here with you to talk about some video games.
We got a lot to talk about.
Because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, and podcast services around the globe. If you like that, pick up a Kinda Funny membership. Patreon.com/kindafunny, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple, Spotify. You give us $10, we give you 80 episodes a month of ad-free content, and of course your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series we call Gregway, where I give you 15 to 20 minutes of exclusive podcasting in my car. Of course, you'd also get good karma for supporting a small business that's independent But if you got no bucks, toss away, no big deal. Like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, leave a notification, do the thing, say the stuff. You got Amazon Prime, you got Twitch Prime, give it to us. They don't remind you. They don't want to do it. But more importantly for this show, super chat over on youtube.com/kindafunnygames to be part of the show. Housekeeping for you. Of course, today, we are still always about live talk shows. You're going to get the GAMESCAST right after this, and it's my 10 games to know Greg Miller, which I'm excited to dive into, and excited to see if the chat can just guess them all right off the bat.
I might do an exercise where I try to write down all the games. I might do
Here,
that
I'll
during-
cover my face, and you go right now.
Right now?
I mean,
Okay.
give me, I don't know,
Peace
give me,
Walker, God of War, I'll say Ragnarok. Oh no! I was gonna say Freedom Wars, but I don't think Freedom Wars is that high. You'd probably put a Monster Hunter over Monster Hunter World. One of those Monster Hunters.
Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. We'll save
one of
for
those
this, save for
Ghostbusters games. See, now
Save
I'm
for
just
the
ruining
show.
your whole list.
I'm not going to say if you're right or wrong. You have to tune into the GameScast to
Infamous.
find out. You have to tune into the GameScast to find out. After the GameScast is an NVIDIA-sponsored Arc Raiders stream. If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Gregway is 20 minutes about the best podcast beyond moments and if indie games are screwed. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobson, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report.
Did you forget something?
Time for some news. 7 items on the Roper Report.
Oh, Baker's dozen!
Come on, little guy. I see you. I see you steaming over there.
He has a sick day.
No, it happened in Gregway too, where I feel like I'm putting words out of order, but I don't think I am. And so then I kind of got in my own head, and then it's just
We did shift like a slight thing that has messed me up, like for the last week.
Yeah.
Where now we do the pre-roll ad, and so we don't have to say like
the sponsor.
Yeah, the sponsor in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
segment.
yeah.
It's
So
tripped me up.
usually, exactly. I think that's might have been what it is. That I did the Delaney the Psalm Twining, and then did the.
You
I
wanna
had to
say
actually read the
today-
line. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report.
Yeah.
It's the little things here when you've been doing the show this long. Number 1 on the Roper Report, a new Metroid Prime 4 trailer dropped. I haven't watched it. Have you watched it?
I've not watched it.
We're going to live react to it right now. All I know is that I saw on BS, that's a blue sky, Tim, that Jeffrey Grubb said Samus's flip turns him on. That man has children, and he's just saying that on main, but okay, whatever. What is your hype for Metroid Prime?
I'm hoping that this trailer brings.
This is the one.
I'm hoping that this is the one. I, of course, played Metroid Prime Remastered, and that was my first full Metroid Prime experience, and I fucking loved it. It went on my list of like, oh, this is one of the best games I've ever played type of thing. But
Yeah.
I never got around to playing Metroid Primes 2 and 3, and from what I hear from people, that those games don't really reach the heights of 1. And so
Yeah.
it's weird to then come back around now to where the 4th one is coming out,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, is this going to be a Metroid Prime 2 or 3 situation? And also, is that just a good thing anyway? Because I don't hear that those games are bad, right? Like, it's just that Metroid Prime 1 is where it's at.
For sure.
Or is this going to be the full return, you know?
Let's find out together, everybody. Here it is, the new Metroid Prime 4 Beyond trailer called Survive. 1:12. We got the ship shooting stuff. Yeah, Samus flip. That's the one that Jeff Grubb loves, I assume.
Ooh.
She's on Pandora.
Ooh. So far, I like how this game looks in this trailer compared to previous trailers.
Okay.
I know this is all cinematic, but
That looks great. This right here looks great. First person, hand over in front of your face.
yeah. I like this trailer. I like how much of it is just gameplay.
I like this trailer. Here she is on the bike. This is something we saw in a direct, and we're like, this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
They kept it way shorter here.
Okay. I think that's one of the better trailers for this game. What is your hype level leading into Metroid Prime 4?
Non-existent. And again, not that I'm anti-Metroid Prime 4, but I've never been a Metroid Prime guy. I watched Kyle Hayes play it on GameCube back in the day in college. I watched him play, and I was like, okay, cool. I see it. This is whatever. And I never came back. Even Remastered, I think I tried to kick the tires on a plane and maybe fell asleep. Not because of the game, just planes put me to sleep. And so, as a Switch 2 fan, I'm excited for more Switch 2. I'm hoping I jump in and I go, all right, yeah, this is it. But I look at this and it doesn't look to me like something I'm like, I gotta play this.
I will say, because you talking about you watching your homie play this back in the day, right? Or played Metroid Prime 1. I don't think Metroid Prime is a game that you can watch somebody play and get what's great about it. I think it's a game that you have to experience. I think it's a game that you have to kind of like be in the way I described it when I was playing it was, you know how there's the Tetris effect, right?
Of
where
course,
you play so much Tetris that you go to sleep and you see the blocks in your sleep, right? Like there you start to see the matrix of the thing. Metroid Prime is one of those games for me where playing through that game, there was a certain point I hit where I'm like, oh, I see the matrix. Like the map is no longer an environment anymore. I am now seeing like all the different paths. I'm seeing like the things that I missed before. I'm seeing where I need to go next and how do I get to this next thing. And I think for me, that's what this trailer nails, is that in previous trailers, maybe I'm speaking out of turn because it's been a while since I've seen the previous trailers, but you're right that the last trailer was like a lot of the motorcycle shit that we were like, oh, this doesn't look as great. And I think it's been a lot of like cinematic stuff as well. Seeing so much of the trailer be you in first person, scanning things, like exploring, seeing the different environments, and all of it looking really good by Metroid Prime standards. That for me is what's bringing me in.
Now you bring in by Metroid Prime standards.
Yeah.
That's another thing I look at, and I'm not, throwing shade. I hope everybody enjoys this game. I hope I play it and I love it. Mm-hmm. It looks barren. Like, I mean, like it doesn't, do we look at this and say this game looks good? This, like, go back to that shot, Kevin, if you don't mind. Like, even pause here. Like, this doesn't look like a 2025 AAA first-person shooter. And I know that this is a Metroidvania, and I know it's Switch 2, and I know all this stuff, and I'm also not the visuals guy, don't get me wrong, but I'm looking at this going like,
See, but that's why, that is why I say by Metroid Prime standards, because I think you're right as far as maybe the barrenness of it, but I don't want a Metroid Prime that's like filled to the brim with like things and distractions and all that stuff. I think stylistically, I like how this looks. I like kind of like how they've set dressed the environment here. I also like that it is kind of limited as far as what the enemies are, right? You're gonna repeatedly be coming back to these same spaces, and I think there is something that's nice about coming back and being like, all right, I know there's gonna be two guys to the right, one guy to the left, boom, 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 take them out, keep going. Like there's sort of a memorization that happens when you're going through these paths over and over again, and so for me, it brings me back to Metroid Prime 1, which to your point, like that's a GameCube game, so. Am I judging this by the standards of a game that came out 20 years ago? Yeah, a little bit, but I do think that for what worked...
This desert section, I mean, and again, I'm not that guy. If the game fucking slaps, the game fucking slaps. I don't care. I will enjoy it, especially if it is about being in it. When you're watching a game, you always catch things you're not catching when you play it because you're caught on where your reticle is and what you're trying to do or whatever.
Yeah. And so, like, if this brings me back to a game that everybody adored from the GameCube era, which again, many people played recently, and for me having played it recently, I'm like, yo, this game for me still fucking holds up. It's still incredible. If you're telling me that Metroid Prime 4 can live up to that, then like, let's freaking go. That is a tall task. I don't know if it's going to be able to do that, but seeing the first person gameplay segments of this gives me a little bit more hope. I think it gives me a little bit more hype than the previous trailers. The motorcycle stuff, we'll see. I hope that's just like fast travel. All right, you're in, you're out. Now get back into the core game.
The cinematic they're opening like seems like it's setting up a cool thing. The environments like have a definitely cool vibe to them, a definitely cool atmosphere, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I know nothing of the story, which is where I'd want to be. I hope I drop in and it immediately grips me and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I've always wanted like a Metroid.
Metroid hasn't worked for me until recently. Like it was Metroid Prime remastered, and then before that, Metroid Dread worked for me, but it wasn't. Me and Andy, we call that game great. It's a great game. Tim gets mad because we say it's great and we don't say it's amazing. But that's kind of, I love the boss fights in Metroid Dread. But for some reason, like I remember trying out, this is similar to you, right? Trying out Super Metroid back in the day. I had even tried out versions of Metroid Prime on the Wii, and it just never stuck. I think aesthetically and like, I think just everything around Metroid never felt like, oh, this is peak blessing shit until recently, where I'm like, oh no, the gameplay is. Even though I'm looking at planets, I'm looking at all these things, all of it seems cool. It's the gameplay that has really pulled me in Metroid Prime specifically. And so I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping that it's fantastic.
Me too.
I'm not worried, but I could see it being, this is great, but it wasn't, the definitive Metroid Prime is back, baby. I could see it being that.
I mean, I think
it's just a tough thing to get back to.
I mean, I think when Nintendo looks to it and what the audience looks to it, they don't even want Metroid Prime to be back. They want this to be the definitive Metroid, right? They want this. I think so many people are looking to this to be what puts Metroid and Samus on the level of so many other games, and I don't know if we'll get that.
Yeah.
Super chats are coming in about this. Zeke Speak says, I want Lonely and Strange, but it's all a balance, of course. Up here we have Alex J. Sandoval. Metroid Prime trailers are hard because trailers tend Metroid Prime trailers are hard because trailers tend to accentuate action, but Metroid games, especially Prime, are about immersion, loneliness, and exploration.
I agree.
And that last part is what excites me to play it.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I'm not an FPS guy. I don't want to just play Doom. Those aren't games I'm drawn to. So I'd much rather it be like, yeah, like it looks. Oh, what I like, my favorite part of that trailer is when it looks like she walks out into like the jungle and the camera swings around and like you see like this stuff and like I like the idea of like you are on this alien planet now. Yeah. All you have is your blaster or whatever. How are you going to get back to whatever you need to do to the MacGuffin to keep on going? Yada yada yada.
Agree.
Okay. I'm excited about it, I guess. To a degree. December 4th, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming up
soon.
Quick. Yeah, real quick.
I do like that it's December because December is not filled with games.
No, not at all. It's the usual where this is the biggest game of December. Oh, and then Octopath.
Octopath Zero, yeah.
Octopath Zero,
Marvel Cosmic Invasion comes out December 1st.
Right.
Don't forget Nicktoons The Dice of Destiny for Switch 2.
Skate Story shouts out Shadow Trickster.
Let It Die Inferno.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's that game Routine that we've talked about recently. That comes out the same day on December 4th as well. Wait, all these things come out December 4th. Metroid Prime 4 and Octopath Traveler are both December 4th.
Okay.
Big day.
It is a big day. But if I want to... No, we're not there yet. Let's move on to story number 2 and keep it in Nintendo land. Switch 2 sales hit 10.36 million. Continuing streak is the biggest console launch of all time. This is Tom Phillips at IGN.com. Nintendo Switch 2 has sold an astonishing 10.36 million units in 6 months, a record-breaking amount that sees the platform continue its run as the biggest console launch ever. In its latest financial results published this morning, Nintendo raised its hardware forecast for the year in response to the Nintendo Switch 2's spectacular performance. It now expects to ship 19 million units of its new console before the end of March 2026. To put Switch 2's success in perspective, Nintendo has doubled the launch sales of the Switch 1, which sold 4.7 million units in its first 6 months back in 2017, and it is also well ahead of the PlayStation 5's own impressive arrival, which sold 7.8 million units back in November 2020, though was limited by stock availability. Mario Kart World, the Switch 2's flagship launch game, has now sold 9.57 million copies, with 8.1 million units of that total from the console bundle. So yes, more than a million people paid $80 to buy the game separately. Nintendo's second biggest Switch title, Donkey Kong Bonanza, has notched up 3.49 million sales since its July debut. Super Mario Party Jamboree, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, meanwhile, has sold 1.16 million copies. Interestingly, sales of the Switch 1 game Mario Kart 8 Deluxe continue to remain strong, with another 1.37 million units sold over the last 6 months. The original Nintendo Switch now stands at 154 million units. Meanwhile, meaning it's just 10,000 sales away from overtaking Nintendo's current best-selling device, the Nintendo DS. But can the aging console shift another 6 million units to finally dethrone the best-selling console ever, PlayStation 2? Nintendo says it expects Switch 1 to reach a lifetime total of 156 million by the end of March 2026, so it will come close.
You said aging console, and I heard Asian console, and I was like, that's a weird way to describe the Nintendo Switch. It's a worldwide console. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know where to start with this one. I think the most, not surprising, but the biggest number that jumps out to me is the Mario Kart World.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking about jumping too.
Yeah, that's an insane, what was it here? Mario Kart World, the Switch 2's flagship, has sold 9.57 million copies. And for context, right, the Switch 2 itself has sold 10.36. That's damn near 100% attachment rate.
And is it weird to anybody else that, and maybe I'm just not running in the right circles, but we do talk about video games each and every day here. Is it weird to anybody else that this game has sold this many copies and you don't fucking hear anyone talk about it? And I don't mean you don't hear people talk about it, that it's their favorite game of all time, and you don't hear people say, I fucking don't like this game. It's just a game we all played for maybe a few nights, maybe a few weeks, and then we're just like, cool, thanks.
Meanwhile, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
That's the one, man. They got Steve now.
Races on
they got Steve now.
Where are all the sales for that? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a. I mean, it's the power of Mario Kart specifically, right? Mm-hmm. And it's one that I'm sure there's video essays and probably write-ups that people have done as far as the power of Mario Kart and why it does so well.
Yeah.
But I would love to really know, like, I look at I look at Donkey Kong Bonanza, a game that people are saying game of the year. It's a game that stars Donkey Kong, the original Nintendo, like, fucking breakout star. The guy. It's a game that's massive. It's a game that has so much going for it. And here we're talking about, like half of that, it was like 3.49 million sales, which is fantastic for the record. But when you compare that to Mario Kart, I get it, but I also don't get it at the same time. Yeah. It's just the power of what Mario Kart has, I guess.
Yeah, and a pack-in and being the day one thing, and then how much people love Mario, period, around how many feelings people have about Mario Kart, I think.
But even like if you replace Donkey Kong Bonanza with Mario Odyssey 2, I think the numbers, I mean, I'm sure it'd sell a little bit more, but it still wouldn't hit what Mario Kart World is doing here.
Sure, but again, I think that's day one. Like, if you're buying that console, why not get the pack in? Yeah, get the pack in. I just don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's apples to apples.
That's fair.
Yeah. But good for them. Like, again, like, I love my Switch 2. Like, I think, not that I didn't love my Switch 1, especially at launch. I think, there was a honeymoon period with, of course, Breath of the Wild, and then, of course, Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. But all that said, it still never felt like, even back then, I feel like the Switch 1 didn't feel like it was a real console to some degree, if that makes sense. It's kind of insulting, but you know what I mean? In terms of, like, running in HD and looking great and feeling like, oh, this is a current gen piece of hardware. Like, my Switch 2, feels that way, and I think the amount I use it and the way I use it, and like to be able to go from, okay, I'm playing World, but I'm also, I carried over my Pokemon save to then, okay, now I'm doing Bonanza, okay, now I'm doing Pokemon Za. Like, I have something on it at all times that, we talk about exclusives and, Xbox and Sarah Bond saying they don't matter anymore, and then going back and us having our GAMESCAST a few weeks ago about what is the vibe on PlayStation right now. Like, Nintendo, I look at that Switch and I'm like, man, you're killing it on hardware and you're still killing it on games. Like, I know that there's so many experiences I can only get on this, and I'm still, as I work through reviews right now and then play stuff like Arc Raiders for fun, I still look at the Switch, I'm like, I gotta get back to Pokemon. I gotta finish Bonanza. I still haven't finished Bonanza. Like, there's so much to go back and still do that I'm excited about. I have so much joy in that device.
You get surprised that it's selling like this much faster than the Switch 1 did?
No, I really don't. I think it's always complicated and convoluted, but you figure Switch 1 launched and it was a, what the fuck is this thing? What are you talking about? I think even for gamers, there was the hangover of the Wii U. There was, did we really believe in this, and the snapping and the clicking, and like, is it really going to work? I think there was things you needed to see, right? I always go back to even another Nintendo console called the Wii, where I was all about the Wii from what I had read in EGM, bought it, and I remember that Thanksgiving where my mom came over and she was playing it. She's like, oh my God, like, I want one of these for Christmas. And that one was like, what? Like, you had to experience to know it. Since I still think with Switch 1, you had to experience it and see the pickup and the click and like the kickstand out and play. Like, now that everybody gets what the Switch is, hey, now there's a Switch 2 and it's more powerful and it's got better games and, or, it's got more impressive games or whatever you want to say. I think there's my family had so much fun with the Switch 1, we'll buy this. Oh, I know how much my kids loved it, I'll get it for their birthday, I'll get it for Christmas. I think it makes sense to dive in and people understand what the device is immediately.
Yeah. I think there's also the ability that Nintendo has to create new Nintendo fans during a generation. I know it sounds almost ridiculous to say, but you think about Animal Crossing New Horizons and how much of a moment that was, like, for the world, and how many people who probably bought a Switch for Animal Crossing who, like, wouldn't have bought a Nintendo console otherwise, right? And that gets them into the ecosystem. And when you're talking about where they're at, like you mentioned, going into the Switch 1, we're coming off of the Wii U, like a big old failure there, and you are big old failure, and you're coming in at with something that is trying to right the ship, and people buy it. People, like, see the potential in it. People are there for Zelda. Like, the Switch 1 launch year, you're talking about like some of the best games ever made coming out for that console, between Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Mario Odyssey, right? And like, this year for Switch 2 isn't that, but like, you have all of that Switch 1 goodwill plus audience that's like, now more diehard than they were even before, because you're still Nintendo back then, but there's something different now with Switch 1. I think Nintendo has that, I don't want to say unique ability, but
they do
definitely like an ability that is on a bigger scale. When you want to talk about like when a Nintendo game hits, it hits.
Yeah. And I think you then have that built-in nostalgia for it.
Yeah.
Like, there's such an audience love for it. Like you're saying, they always make new fans.
Yeah.
The fact that Mario as an IP, right, is even more popular now to my son than he was to my kids or my peers when I was my son's age. You know what I mean? Of like, that's crazy because like obviously Mario and the cartoon and all this stuff that we were having, and I know gaming's bigger than ever, but still, like, he's maintained that level of leadership and IP and been able to grow that way to where Nintendo and the stores and everything else.
The fact that he likes Pokemon, right? Because he took him to Pokemon.
Ben,
World.
oh yeah, Ben loves Pokemon, yeah.
Like the fact that you're able to still do that, right? I look at other, I mean, even the other console makers between PlayStation and Xbox kind of still, like, is there any of those IP that Ben is into? Like, is Ben into, I guess, Astrobot or Ratchet?
He likes
like
Astrobot, yeah, but I mean, this is the Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, he likes, I mean, like, you know, his dad made sure he looked at Astrobot and played Astrobot. Like, he loves Astrobot, yeah, and he had, you know, I think Goldfarb brought him an Astrobot stuffy, you know, before anything, you know, like, it's that thing where I think there's so much outside influence to make Astrobot more of a thing to him, but it's like, yeah, Ratchet, he has no idea who that is. He doesn't care. Like, he's not looking at, there's no PlayStation cartoon show that's going on that he's watching.
As you enter the world as a toddler, you look around and Nintendo's already got you.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like the not a joke, but like I remember back in when I was in high school or whatever, they were talking about how cigarette advertisements were getting fucking like litigated because you would walk into a gas station and they would have the cigarette ad at like the eye height of a child, and that's them trying to get you at a young age.
Yeah, Joe Camel.
Yeah, exactly. Nintendo has that, but like in a way, thank God it's not cigarettes, right? Like thank God Mario isn't selling cigarettes. But you enter the world and it is Pokemon and Mario and Pikmin and Animal Crossing, and then even as you jump to different demographics, Animal Crossing has a chokehold on so many people that God of War obviously doesn't. Because that speaks to people. Like Nintendo has this variety. You talk about Pikmin and all these other things that it just continue to generate and invent new fans, which is, I think that speaks to the importance of, I guess, vibrancy and variety in your library.
100%. Yeah. And I think Nintendo does that so well, you know, and I think, you know, you talk about a different kind of library, a diversified library. I think Nintendo's always been so good at having their core IPs and letting people experiment with them and take them in different directions, right? And now it's so easy to look at Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and forget that that was a big swing and that was a big change from what we knew for Zelda, right? Let alone Mario. I mean, Tim's always has a really great breakdown of it, of like, but there's still the 2D Mario, but then there's also this 3D Mario you can play with, and what do you want to do, let alone the movies or an RPG or this, that, and the other. And even Animal Crossing, right? Of like the way that has evolved over the years to what it is and where I hope it'll go from here. Like, that's how they keep you around. And like, yeah, when I walked into the Nintendo store this weekend with Ben and Jen, right, I popped and immediately went to the Animal Crossing. They had new stuff, got a new coffee thermos. I was like, oh, hell yeah, you know what I mean? I'm all about it.
Speaking of Nintendo spinoffs.
Speaking of Nintendo spinoffs, Gregway. Number 3 on the Roper Report is your Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment review roundup. Over on Metacritic, it has, you know what? We'll tell you about it in 1 second. Remember, of course, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live. And if you like that, you should pick up a Kinda Funny membership to keep the lights and mics on. Of course, you can pick it up on patreon.com/kindafunny, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple and Spotify to get all of our shows ad-free, get your daily podcast from me, Greg Miller, and of course, get good karma for supporting an 11-person small business all about live talk shows. But right now, you're not using your benefits, so here's a word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by a absolutely amazing and free way that you can support Kinda Funny. Very often, y'all ask, what's the best way to support Kinda Funny? Not with money, but with our love and our support. And right now, the best way you can do that is by supporting us on Spotify. We've been getting a lot of really good energy, good juice going with the support we've been getting on Spotify, and Spotify are starting to notice. So if y'all could do me a favor, even if you don't normally listen to us on Spotify, it would go such a long way if you can go to the pages for the Kinda Funny podcast, Kinda Funny Games Daily, Kinda Funny Gamescast, and Kinda Funny in Review, and follow them on Spotify. Go rate them as high as you want to rate them, as accurately as you want to. But if I'm being real, I'd really prefer if you just did as high as you're willing to go. It would go such a long way for us. We have video on Spotify now, and that's an amazing opportunity for Kinda Funny to get in front of an entire new audience. YouTube, been there, done that. We, are kind of where we're probably going to be forever. But on Spotify, the potential is limitless, and that is all up to you and your support. So thank you very much wherever you listen to us, wherever you watch us, wherever you put your hard-earned dollars. We really, really appreciate you. But we always want to be here for you, whether it's free or not. We love you. Thank you so much.
Raziel, I'd like to defend myself over in, of course, the YouTube comments. Raziel says, again, Greg not using the Nintendo Cup. First off, show some fucking respect. It's my Animal Crossing diner mug, all right, from Brewster's. Fucking get it right or get out of the goddamn chat.
Get it right.
Secondly, when I make the coffee here over there, or even when I bring in my little thermos of coffee, that's when I'm using the cup. When I have to stop and buy iced coffee because I'm out of iced coffee at home and here, I'm not gonna wait. I already killed a fucking penguin to make this cup. All right. And I'll be goddamn if I'm gonna compost it, I'll compost it. But I'm not gonna just dump it into the cup to because then it's like the cup is so small, the diner cup, then I'd have this on top of that. If it's a cup coming from the outside, like today's and yesterday's McDonald's, it's gonna stay in the cup from the outside. But if I'm making a coffee here, that's when I'll use this.
I like that.
Coffee. Number 3 on the Roper Report in your Nintendo Rock Block, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment Review Roundup. The Metacritic is at a 78. The Open Critic is at an 80. Richard Wakeling at GameSpot gave it a 7 out of 10. A few issues hold it back, but Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment marks a high point for the spin-off series, iterating on its riotous hack-and-slash combat with depth and variety. Jade King at The Gamer gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Or just a 4 out of 5, and said, but this is still a Muso title, and it can only achieve so much within that framework without awkwardly bursting at the seams. With those restrictions in consideration, however, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is a triumphant prequel that Zelda fans are going to adore. And then PJ O'Reilly over at Nintendo Life gave it a 9 out of 10 and said, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is a stunning slice of action and my favorite Muso game so far. Lessons have been learned from both Hyrule Warriors, both from Hyrule Warriors and Age of Calamity, resulting in a game that balances big-time story with top-notch combat that's got proper depth to it. With Zonai devices to play with, a cracking roster, tons of sexy sync strikes to pull off, and a ludicrously slick recreation of early Hyrule to set about kicking ass in, this is dream time for hack-and-slash fans and Zelda enthusiasts alike. Yes, map layouts are still a bit bland, and co-op mode is 30 frames per second, but everything else here combines to make for the best entry in the spin-off series to date. Of course, you see these reviews popping all over the place, and you're enjoying yourself, and you say, I love it, I want to see more about it. Kind of Funny is playing it, we will be reviewing it. IGN put up a thing today, saying, hey, we're not reviewing it just yet, because Nintendo's embargo says we can't talk about certain things and we don't think that's right, so we're going to hold it till launch day. We are going to review it on launch day as well, not for the exact same restrictions, but because of course we are trying to get Logan Plant to come over here and review it with us. So I do believe Thursday you are getting Tim Barrett and hopefully Logan out for this here game that you can hang out and talk about what they've done. I don't think it's a full-blown review on our side. I think they're just tinkering with it, but I'm not 100% up to date on it. But you'll get Kind of Funny talking about it on Thursday, I do believe.
Does this do anything for you?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You really like Zelda and Tears of the Kingdom and all that. Like, I still have yet to roll credits in Tears. I need to restart my Switch 2 save.
Yeah. I'm just not a Muso person.
That's my thing, where it's like, it's on top of this being a game where it's like, oh man, these aren't my Zeldas. I'm the Ocarina Majora guy. Like, that's what I love, and I need to get reinvested into this. Like, it's also just the fact, this isn't my series. This isn't how I play. This isn't what I want to do.
It's funny because on paper, I think the Muso stuff should speak to me. I like hack and slash games. I love action. I love when a bunch of things are happening on screen. We just reviewed Ninja Gaiden 4 a couple weeks ago, and like I talked about how much I really enjoyed that game, especially the combat. I fucking adored the combat in that game. Yeah. When I play Ninja Gaiden 4, right, like that's a game where I am hacking and slashing and taking out waves of enemies and doing all this shit, flipping around. Like, that's my type of shit. So when you put that in Zelda, it should work, but for whatever reason, it's not just the Zelda thing, right? Like, I've tried Persona Strikers, which is another one that, like, I fucking love Persona, right? I even tried Dynasty Warriors when that came out back in January. And for whatever reason, it doesn't work for me. But also, like, it's the two universal truths of, one, the game doesn't have to work for me. Like, you know, like, the fact that I know there are people out there that are fucking jazzed about this. Hell yeah. And then also, like, a game doesn't have to be, like, you know, 9s and 10s or whatever. This coming in at around an 80 on OpenCritic, a 78 on Metacritic sounds about right. And I'm sure like the fan base that is into this type of shit, I'm sure they're like, oh hell yeah, like let's go. Like, this is gonna be another one of those. And I watched Barrett play like a little bit of it, and it looks like visually looked great. And so that's all I'm gonna say, because I don't know what I can't say.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I'm glad it's there for the folks who want that experience and everything else. But yeah, I don't think there's a way they could sell me on this. It's just not I don't want to play a Muso. I'm not interested in what's going on in Hyrule at this time period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not what I'm looking for out of it, but good on you. I'm glad it's there for the audience that it is there for. Congratulations to everybody. Ian Johnson became a member and super chatted with that and said, Nintendo is still the only console that evoked a sense of pure excitement on launch. Brings me back every time to that kid who opened up their SNES for the first time.
Nice.
There's something to be said for that, I think. Switch 2, again, not the most impressive launch lineup by any stretch of the imagination, but just being the new hardware and how do these feel and the magnetic snaps, you know what I mean? This, and you can run it and it's doing this.
I might push back a little bit, though. I think I've had more excitement for a PS5, Xbox Series launch than for a Switch 2 launch. Granted, that was 5 years ago, but for me, Switch 1 to Switch 2 felt like such a iteration. I think pre-launch felt kind of exciting, but like when we got to launch day and I'm holding and I'm playing, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's just more Switch, which is great. But like PS5, where I'm playing Astrobot and Pathless and Miles and Sackboy Big Adventure and like doing all these things, and like the UI is different and like the shape of the PS5 is different, and like I think there's enough newness there that made me feel more excited for it.
See, I think it's an interesting one to argue, and there's so much outside influence on it. But I would go with Ian and say that I think Switch 2 did evoke this pure excitement. But again, am I cheating? Because it is the idea that I was excited about new layout on PlayStation, excited for a new form factor, of course, new controller, all that's really, really cool. But it was for me like, okay, cool, it's a souped up PlayStation 4 Pro. Like we're moving that, which is great, and what I want out of these, and the games look better and yada yada. That's great. It also launched during COVID, right? Mm-hmm. This one with the Switch, right? Us going to the launch event at the Nintendo store and like the excitement that was there live as that happened, as much as it sucks, did we get it on Target? Did you get it over here? Did they cancel the thing? Okay, blah, blah. And then coming back here for the launch party and setting it up and immediately having a 4-player game of Mario Kart to go into and just fucking wreak havoc on, and Fran not to know what he was looking at and drive into the wall. And like there was a vibe and excitement to that reminded me so much of the midnight launches I used to miss and the N64 wrestling parties me and my friends would throw in high school. You know what I mean? Whereas like, yes, PS5 launched during COVID, so of course it was a very isolating experience. But even the launch lineup of the PS5, right? I think we would have done a stream if it wasn't COVID of all of us playing it, and it would have been, all right, Greg's playing Miles for an hour, and then you're going to come in and play Sackboy's Big Adventure with, I guess, one other person for what it's like. I don't know. There was something really special about this one.
I feel that.
Yeah, but again, maybe I'm cheating because we could actually do something special.
I think it's different rubrics of like how they both.
I don't think the next Xbox launch will be special.
No.
Cool, it's a PC. That's rad. I'm excited. It'll run my game better. Yeah, and even PlayStation 5, I go, I don't know. You know what I mean?
For me, it was like the DualSense Edge. Like, that felt like such a dynamic, different thing, right? And like hindsight, now that we're this far into it, I think now
the Edge didn't launch with it though, right?
Oh, sorry, not the Edge. Just the
DualSense. Okay,
not the Edge. But like now that I look back and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is just I don't want to say PS4 part 2, but like it is kind of that iterative thing that we talk about. But I feel like the Switch is going to feel the same way when we look back, when we're like, yeah, I feel like Switch 1 and Switch 2 is going to feel more like one big generation as opposed to PS4 to PS5, even Xbox One to Xbox Series X, when we talk about quick resume and all that shit, right? Like that felt like such a revolution to me. And like again, now do I care? Not really.
I mean, that's a really interesting argument, because again, I would come down that I think the Switch 1 to Switch 2 generations will feel more different than PS4 to PS5, Xbox to Xbox Series.
Really?
Yeah. Because for I feel like PS4, I think PS4 Pro, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. No, they had something in the middle there, didn't they?
Oh, One X.
Yeah. Whatever they did. Yeah. But you know what I mean? They're mid. Once we started doing the mid-generation consoles, that's where I felt like we were just waiting. You went from the cold water to the warm water to the hot water. Like we were wading into it, where it didn't feel like this crazy. This is insane. We're doing something different here.
I also didn't have a PS4 Pro, so maybe that's coloring my vision a little bit. For me, playing Pathless after playing on a base PS4 for 7 years, playing the Pathless in 60 FPS and seeing how smooth that game was.
Sure.
That's probably one of the reasons it was one of my favorite games that year. Is I was like, man, this shit runs smooth, and I'm like running through these fields and it's all colorful and shit.
Herbie Arrow says SSD themes and the look of the PS5 to PS4 are like night and day. Yes, you're not wrong, but again, like
the
SSD, sure, you're talking about load times. Like maybe I didn't lose it over here. Maybe I didn't lose it over here. Oh, no, it's gone. Somebody was over here saying like, oh man, PS3 to PS. There it is. Frolicious. PS3 to PS4 was the biggest jump. Like, remember, I'm fucking old. So like, NES to SNES was a jump. SNES to N64 was a jump.
Yeah, PS1 to PS2. Like every time I PlayStation is the biggest jump.
And so
mind.
that's the thing where I feel like as we start to erode what you can do with these things, like no, I don't think when you like. It felt like a jump, is what we were saying, right? When somebody asks you in 30 years, did the PlayStation 4 to PS5 feel like a jump? And you're gonna go, yeah, it looked different. The console had a different footprint. You know what I mean? And it had themes. Like, what the fuck? No, you're not gonna say that. You're gonna talk about games. You're gonna be like, yeah, like yes, Miles Morales on PS5 loaded way quicker than Miles Morales on PS4, but
okay,
you know what I mean? And granted, I mean, like right now with Switch, what am I saying is different? Like I don't. There's.
I guess that's my thing is I feel the same way about
Switch 1 has gone from like it's kind of HD to 4K. Like you know, hey, this still has the graphical jump that I can look at a game and see it. Let's see how fast fucking Animal Crossing Switch 2 edition loads. That's what I'm talking about.
Fair enough.
Get me into this goddamn hotel making rooms
soon, in like a couple months.
Yeah, November 15th, which is soon, but it's
January
5th, January 15th, which is soon but still far. You know?
Yeah.
But there's still so many games.
Sooner than you probably thought, though, right? Like,
I know. Yes, I thought they'd time it out with their
like a new
6th
game.
anniversary. But yeah, they didn't do that. No.
The 6th anniversary of New Horizons.
Yeah, March. March would be the 6th anniversary of New Horizons.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Let's stay in the Nintendo rock block again. Number 4, Nintendo's messy Palworld fight takes an unexpected turn. I'm excited. Claire Jackson at Kotaku writes, those familiar with Nintendo are likely aware of the company's litigious proclivities in scoring a patent for summoning monsters and having them fight on your behalf, known as the 397 patent, or maybe it's the 397 patent, was an essential victory in Nintendo's battle against Pokemon with Guns survival game Palworld. Patenting a game mechanic is nothing new, but this particular patent has been regarded by many as, well, absurd. And acquiring it hasn't exactly been the victory the Pokemon Company seems to have been hoping for in its quest to deal Palworld an irreversible loss. Joining the chorus of folks saying, quote unquote, this is silly, is Trump nominee John A. Squires, director of the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Squires has highlighted 2 older patent applications from Konami and Nintendo as prior art that might invalidate Nintendo's claim to owning the concept this particular patent focuses on. As a result, Squires has ordered the merits of the controversial 397 patent to be reconsidered. It doesn't look good for Nintendo's aggressive efforts. Some, such as Game Phrase Florian Mueller, are describing this move by Squires as a major loss for the company. As Mueller notes, Squires has not ordered the patent to be yanked. Re-examination orders, according to Mueller, quote, can result in the patent being upheld. But this specific Pokemon case seems unlikely to be one of those situations. Nintendo has 2 months to respond to the re-examination, and in that time, other companies are free to challenge the merits of the patent.
It all
Good.
falls down. Yeah.
Good. Like we all agree this patent was bullshit and an overreach by Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it needs to be stopped and nipped in the bud so that it isn't just, yeah, you captured a monster. That's us.
Hey,
Sorry.
that's us. Yeah.
Give us our cut. Don't do it. Whatever. Which again, probably isn't what they would use it for, but is what it could easily be used for.
Yeah. I saw like it was a funny meme the other day of it was Pocket Pair and Nintendo, and like it was like almost like the big parent coming over Pocket Pair's shoulder of other companies that also have these exact same mechanics of like Capcom. I think FromSoft might have been in there of like summoning creatures to fight on your behalf, and they were like reaching on Nintendo's shoulder, like, "Yo, calm the fuck down." I'm like, so I'm fascinated to see where this goes. This is going to be one of those, I think, ongoing conversation ones that we had that ends up being a new story on this show for the next,
of course,
however long, because this patent battle seems like it's heating up. We were just talking about this on the Japan side, as there are Japanese patents that got rejected from Nintendo. So now that this is being re-examined, it seems like, you know, governments are taking notice that, hey, wait a second, this doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem, and like, I assume that's just a lot of companies challenging it. And so you got what, 2 months they said for people to get in there
and they will.
Their case.
Oh, they will.
I hope they do. Like, they better be paying attention, because this is not good. When it
Over
comes
here,
to it.
Corey Cudney says, wait, why is this happening in U.S.? Aren't they a Japanese company? As we just called out, yes, there's Japanese patents that have been rejected. That U.S. initially was like, yeah, go for it. Japan was like, no, and then that happened. And then over here, Errol M is like, it was more specific than a patent than that. I'm aware it was more specific than you caught a monster. We're in trouble. I'm not going to break out the goddamn words.
Let me read 2 pages of how they describe this shit.
God fucking damn it. You know what I mean? Job would be great if it wasn't for Errol in the chat.
I'm saying. And Reddit.
Hi, Errol. He says hi
What's up,
back.
Reddit?
You slid the Reddit. You slid the Reddit jab into. I didn't catch it.
The only people I fuck with are the Spotify comments.
That's where you're.
I love
That's
Spotify
where you're sticking the flag. Okay.
Oh, dude, they're like the only comment section I truly read.
Yeah.
Which don't ruin it now that I've said that,
Yeah,
because
no,
I
we're gonna
will
be
stop
looking for
reading it. But yeah, I do go in because like it's such a specific like. It's really cool to see communities form in very specific places. So to go into the Spotify comments and like for the guy to be like, this is where the Roper Report starts, and everybody's like, oh, welcome back, dude. You know, just listen to the whole show, and they go back and forth of like, well, I'm just here for the news, and like there's every day there's an argument about people being like, I just want the Roper Report and I just want the whole thing, right? And I'm like, listen, I'm here for both of y'all. You know,
we're making the content.
We're making the content for all of you guys.
We'll start inserting our
if you want to
bullshit in
skip
the
to the
middle of
Roper
the
Report,
show.
skip to the Roper Report.
Skip to Wii News. Isn't that what you really
Skip
want to know?
News if you want to.
Number 5 on the Roper Report. Dispatch sells 1 million copies. This is Adhoc over on Twitter. 2 days, 80 million copies sold. What? 2 days, 80 million copies sold. Would have been nice.
Fucking got your ass.
2 days, 80 million copies sold. Would have been nice. We sold 1 million in 10 days, though. Still pretty good. That's a fucking great. That's a good tweet.
That's a really good
That's
one.
a good tweet. They put up a funny little thing there, too, of the character from the game spitting out his coffee, looking at the screen while he gets told. That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Good job on you. Congratulations, Adhoc. Of course, we are Dispatch fans over here. You have now played episodes 3 and 4, yes?
Yes, I played episodes 3 and 4.
Episode 4.
Oh man, let me tell you about episode 4.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's that good stuff.
That's that good shit right there.
It's funny because I was telling Barrett this, that after episode 2, we did our reviews of episodes 1 and 2, and I gave it a 9 out of 10. And I gave it that 9 out of 10 with sort of the expectation that like there's no way it's gonna continue to be like. I'm sure once I finish it, once I keep going, it's probably going to drop down to an 8 or something. After episodes 3 and 4, I'm still at that 9 out of 10.
Fuck yeah.
I keep wanting to call it a show.
Yeah, I know.
But
You said that. I think I caught the tail end of this where you said you made dinner and you're like, I want to watch something. You're like, oh, put on Dispatch.
Let me put on
You
Dispatch
just
real
play it-
quick.
Yeah. Did you put it in cinematic mode or did you still do like the?
I didn't put it in cinematic mode, but I don't think the episode had any like
Got it.
quick time things. It was episode 4, so
Yeah.
No, the show continues to deliver, right? The game continues to deliver. I might take back some of the, I guess, criticism I had about episodic. Episodic might be working for me with this.
Here we did. I mean, first off, this is our conversation in the review. Episodes 1 and 2 are what we were allowed to review at the time. I'd already played 3 and 4. Now you've played 3 and 4. Tomorrow, 5 and 6 come out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this conversation of, is episodic going to work? Can it maintain a conversation? Will people care about it? 1 million copies sold.
1 million copies.
Pretty fucking great for this. Technically the first game out of Adhoc Studios, even though they're comprised of old Telltale folks, you know what I mean? And a new IP. And yes, Critical Role's behind it, but like, hey, that's juice. That's good. And yeah, it seems like everybody, Super Chats, let me know your review of Dispatch so far. No spoilers through episode 4. It seems like there's still a lot of juice behind it. I don't know if I told you this. I was at a Halloween party before we went trick-or-treating with the neighbors, right? And again, SF Bay Area, everybody's a fucking venture capitalist. Everybody's, a fucking doctor or some bullshit. I'm just the weirdo guy that nobody cares about. And so I'm talking, and I got introduced to the host's sister, and then this was her boyfriend. They're adults. And the guy's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, so you live next door? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I heard about you. You're the video game guy. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I play games. I'm like, okay. What do you play? And he led with Dispatch. I'm like, fuck, you're playing Dispatch. Like, I love Critical Role. Like, oh my God, this is like awesome. Like, you're in it then if you're that deep into it. You know what I mean?
Fucking
and the
awesome.
fact that it's permeating that way, where it is like, granted, he sounds like a real gamer, like one of us.
I've landed on Dispatch TikTok. Like
Oh.
the other day, it was right after I finished episode 4. Funny enough, so they're all listening to us, but who cares? I go on TikTok, and it's just like video after video after video of people like being like, yo, like, who you going with? Or like, like kind of replaying the good scenes from episode 4.
Wow!
And yeah, like as far as that side of it, I'm seeing a lot of enthusiasm. It seems like the episodic is working for that side of it. And then when you want to talk about 1 million copies sold, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect storm of the Critical Role aspect of it. I think just having a great cast. I think the art style gets people in. I think the story is really fun. People love superhero type shit, right? It's doing the telltale, quote unquote telltale aspect of the decisions mattering for at the very least expressing what character do you like, or what kind of decision are you make, or who did you hire here. Like when I came back yesterday from the weekend, Barrett comes to me and is like, oh, so who'd you pick to do this thing, and who'd you do to do this thing, and it's like, that's what makes this shit good.
Yeah,
like those water cooler post episode
100%.
Conversations. What's up, Barrett?
He's here.
Pulling on a
Oh, he already turned off the microphone.
Mic
3.
One.
I feel thinking back at our episodes 1 and 2 review, like we were pontificating of like,
I'm sure we're.
Was this the right move, especially with review access at the time? I'd only played the first 2 episodes, but we had only access to the first half. And it's like, is that a good marketing beat? And it seems like none of that mattered. Like this game is catching on fire in a way that like I did not foresee, and I feel silly for doubting them and the kind of the vision they saw for like where this game could go.
Yeah, I mean, one of the conversations that we had was like, can you make the cliffhangers matter? Like, can you finish episodes in a way where it's like, damn, all right, like I gotta stay tuned for the next episode, and I think they got there.
Yeah, and that was one for me where we had access to the first 4, but we could only at the time talk about the first 2 episodes, so I'd only played the first 2, and I felt like that first week didn't hit as hard as it should have in terms of like getting people like hooked in.
Come back,
yeah. But that second week, like I only posted about it. I haven't talked about it on content. Like episodes 3 and 4, like I greatly love, and like they've already kind of like not like addressed, but like like the problems I had with the first week, I think are already being solved or whatever in the second week of the episodes, and like I've been waiting with bated breath for tomorrow for episodes 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I just said that. Why do you want?
Yeah, he just said that.
Yeah.
Why he just said that?
I apologize.
Also, I do think it's smart that they do have like a bunch of like internet streamer people as like the cast, right? Like you have
Get to those audiences.
yeah, you got Moist Critical as Sonar.
Yeah.
Alana is the demon lady.
What's her name? Malevola.
Yeah, and then a couple others that I'm blanking on, but I know, like I recognize at
You
least
got
enough.
Laura Bailey as Invisigal, which she's legitimately like voice actress or actress.
She's an influencer.
Jack
Fair enough.
Septic Guy as well, who's the punch up, greatest punch up.
Yeah. We got to do like a conversation or
Well,
something.
I think we're. I mean, the fact that we're here and we only have half the season to go, I think we can easily get a spoiler cast.
when the whole thing is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to
think
know decisions.
There's also like I think a conversation I want to have as far as like, is this going to be a seasonal thing? Because this feels like a TV show in the way where I don't feel like we're barreling towards.
I don't think a resolution's happening.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like we're barreling.
We're just
towards a
hanging
big
out in their lives.
resolution.
We're just hanging out in their lives.
Yeah, this feels
Yeah.
so episodic in a way that I think that's why I really like it. Is it just feels like a season of TV, but like I can tune in for an episode, bounce out, and not have to like think about the big villain's gonna die at the end. Like, how are they gonna get there?
Yeah,
get there in season 4. I don't know.
Also, a shout out to
But it'll take so long.
who's the guy who voices the your old friend.
Oh, Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Wright, fucking amazing.
killing it, and
Jeffrey Wright's
like
fucking amazing.
such a different role for him, and it's so fun, and it's very weird to hear him say some of the things he says in that
100%.
In that game.
Thank you, Barrett, for your dropping. I like that quite a bit. I asked for super chats about it. Garrett wrote in and said it's a 9 out of 10 after 4 episodes. I not only want these next 4 episodes, I want a season 2. And it'll be interesting. I think hopefully, a million sales are seeing the success. When this is done, I've seen so many people say, I'm waiting till it's done. I'm hoping when it's done, and if it maintains, then so many people jump in, buy it, do it, go for it. Yeah.
I like how short the episodes are. I think 8. We'll have a conversation about it, but 8 episodes I was worried about because I'm like, oh, that seems like a lot for a Telltale style thing. They
move so fast.
They move so fast. They keep them really short, and so it really is like I'm sitting down to watch an episode of TV.
Yeah.
And I can drop in, knock it out, and be like, all right, cool. Tomorrow I'll do another one. Oh, you're in the video.
Yeah, I was going to call this out. Yang Fam super chat said, I enjoyed your interview with the Adhoc folks and voice actors, Greg. If you haven't seen this, of course, I did host a conversation with the cast over there, including Alana, Aaron, Laura Bailey, a whole bunch of them, Thought Squad. You can get that over on the Adhoc YouTube channel for Adhoc Studio. I'll be honest with you. They approached me and they say, hey, Greg, you did so much great work with Telltale back in the day. We know you're like synonymous with these kind of games. You want to host this conversation with the cast? And I said, sure. And I said, where's this going to post? And they said, oh, we're going to put it up on our YouTube channel. And I was like, in my head, you're sending this to die. No one's going to go see this. This fucking video, Blessing, has 357,000 views.
On the Adhoc YouTube channel?
300. They have 51,000 subscribers on the Adhoc YouTube channel.
That's nuts.
It has 357,000 reviews. It was like it was like 200 whatever after the first week, and I popped in to look at it, and I was expecting to see like, oh, it's got 20,000 views, and I saw that number, like, oh, this game's gonna be fine. This game is gonna be fine.
This is gonna be
the Critical Role fan base will carry this game. It's fine.
Yeah, probably a lot of it's probably Critical Role, but this game, I think it needs to be studied for the marketing, like how they've been able to get this in front of people, because that's crazy. I would never have expected that.
Never. Yeah. And then it's no insult to anybody. It's just so hard to get people to click on anything.
Yeah.
Let alone, this is a 36-minute interview, and it's a great interview. I mean, come on. It's me crushing it out there, hanging out with Laura. No big deal. Zeke Speak says, who's the hottest NPC in the game, and why is it Waterboy?
Oh, yeah. Shout out Waterboy. It's my guy.
Yeah.
Shout out Invisigal.
Invisibitch. And then Oak Toasted super chats and says, Dispatch is awesome, filling the void while The Wolf Among Us 2 is stuck in limbo. Yep.
Oh, I forgot about
Would
that.
not hold your breath for The Wolf
Remember
Among Us
Tales
2.
from the Borderlands?
I do remember
2?
that. Yeah. Oh, hilariously, like this guy was so into these kind of games that he was like, he's like, yeah, I loved. I'm like, did you like Telltale games? He's like, oh, I loved all the Telltale games. He's like, I didn't play Wolf Among Us 2. I heard it was, or I didn't play
Tales 2.
fucking Tales from the Borderlands 2. I didn't hear good reviews. Like, you know what? I am a reviewer and I didn't play it. So yeah, you're fine on missing that one. I think you did just fine with it. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that people are excited. These are the kind of games I love so much. And so, like, I'm stoked to jump in tomorrow and do the next two now that I'm caught up and figure out.
One day, video game releases are going to slow down and no new games are going to come out for a year.
Yeah.
And I'd want to do Telltale in review. We go back and we just play all the Telltale games.
I
again.
do like that, actually.
That'd be fucking sick.
Do you understand? But are we starting from The Walking Dead or are we
Yes.
going all the way back?
Oh, no.
You're doing
Dead.
Strong Bad? We're
No.
doing the Jurassic Park
We're not
games?
doing Strong Bad.
All right,
We
Back
start
to the
from Walking
Future.
Dead. I
Back
just
to
wanna
the Future
replay-
where they were so like, it is canon. And then the fucking season ends with them breaking time. It was like, what? Number 6 on the Roper Report, the Warhammer version of Vampire Survivors is coming. This is Chris Hayner at Polygon, and we have a trailer. A trailer for the brand new Warhammer roguelite around the Auroch Digital. Is that how you say that, you think?
Yeah, or that sounds about right.
Auroch. Digital, the Warhammer 40,000 bolt gun. In partnership with Ponkel, Vampire Survivors is here, and, well, it's a lot like Vampire Survivors. In fact, they even share half a title. Warhammer Survivors is coming next year, and based on the trailer, it's going to include a lot of bullet hell goodness, but this time couched in universes of Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Per a press release about the game, Warhammer Survivors is going to take, quote, the relentless and charming pixel vomit gameplay fans of Vampire Survivors love and mix it with the globally renowned grim dark of the Warhammer universes. While Warhammer Survivors won't be available until 2026, the game is available on Steam right now for wish listing purposes. I won't lie to you, this will be the first Warhammer game I ever truly play.
Really?
I love Vampire Survivors. I've played it on just about every platform. I look at this and I'm like, yeah, cool. I don't know anything about this universe or any of these universes, but this gameplay is what would bring me in.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You care at all?
No.
Oh, damn. Did you not like Vampire Survivors?
It just wasn't my jam.
Fair enough. Blessing.
Yeah.
Finding out what your jam is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
But I don't have time for a big deal like that. Instead, I want a small deal. Say the tiniest news I need to know about. Where should I go?
You go to our last news story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items they need to know about.
Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, it's number 7, the Wii News. From GameFile, EA told its staff today that they will maintain creative control if the acquisition goes through. Quote, EA will maintain creative control, and our track record of creative freedom and player-first values will remain intact, end quote.
Sure.
Sure it will.
Sure.
Jared Kushner, the Saudis, they're all going to roll in and be like, do whatever you want. Just keep doing whatever you're doing, EA. From Gamatsu, publisher Konami and developer Z-Drive Tim have delayed action-adventure platformer Darwin's Paradox from its previously planned 2025 release window to 2026. It will be available on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch 2, and PC via Steam. The Switch 2 version is newly announced, and the previously announced Switch version is no longer planned.
R.I.P.
From VGC, another NetEase game studio is set to close as the fallout of the Chinese publisher's alleged withdrawal from its international operations continues. Former Warcraft and League of Legends designer Greg Street announced on Monday that his studio, Fantastic Pixel Castle, will close this month, barring a last-minute rescue for many potential investors. That's sad.
Tough.
Coming to Game Pass in November, Wave 1. On the 5th, you get Sniper Elite Resistance and Dead Static Drive. On the 6th, you get Egging On and Whiskerwood. 7th, you get Void Train. 11th, you get Great God Grove, Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, Pigeon Simulator. On the 12th, you get Relic Hunter Legend, Winter Burrow, which I'm excited about because everybody says it's a great game, and I'm not 1,000% sure. It's the one where you're the mouse.
Winter Burrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
The mouse where you're running around making your burrow and making your home. But it's also survival, and that's not. The 14th is Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Pillars of Eternity turn-based beta launches November 5th on Xbox, PC, and Steam. Animal Crossing New Leaf OST is available on Nintendo Music, and I will be listening to it. Leaf Blower Co. launches November 17th on Steam. And that is the end of Wii News. We turn our eyes to the one, the only, the super chats that didn't get read because they weren't part of the show yet. Lucid Dream says, Hades 2 epilogue blessing, fear runs, 100%.
Definitely not 100%. I'll get to the epilogue at some point. Fear runs, probably, maybe, we'll see.
Krabby Patty. Oh, Krabby Patty is guessing my list. My guess for Greg's list: Metal Gear Solid 1, Peace Walker, Luminous, Gone Home, Telltale: The Walking Dead, Monster Hunter 2? Uncharted 3, The Last of Us, Freedom Wars, some Ghostbusters garbage. Well, fuck you on the last one, Krabby Patty.
Yeah,
and you will see
that
on the
sounds about
GamesCast next. Fuck you. Ball Tofu says birthday tax. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
37 today. Shout out to the vegan straight edge, and of course, kind of funny.
Vegan straight edge.
I imagine that's a YouTuber similar to us. It must be a person, maybe in the
vegan straight edge.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't think he's like? Actually, never mind. I was gonna go a deep dark path.
Krabby Patty follows up again to say Scrap Ghostbusters Infamous 1/2 is my last guess. You'll find out soon enough. Goldfish Boy says was going to ask for a Beyond reaction. Oh, Metroid Beyond, which we did, right? Yeah, okay. But instead, can I just get a pre-PC era Greg joke making fun of us PC gamers instead?
Oh, it's just a combination
Nothing
of the
works.
vegan community and the straight edge.
It just
community.
doesn't work. Oh, so it's not a person? It's just a thing?
Yeah, it's like a
Oh,
lifestyle.
you're just calling out the movement?
Yeah. Okay, never mind. You know what? That was actually close to what I was gonna say, but I guess more so like with more of the focus on the veganism than the straight edge part. But no, it's just a combination of the two. Good for you. Keep it healthy.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be like
Keep it
bragging
pump.
about it. You know what I mean? This is
Okay,
the whole
well,
thing.
now you
this
went-
is the whole thing with vegans and straight edge people. CM Punk, remember, I'm straight edge, and that means I'm better than you. That's how you all feel about it, all right? I had a double
sounds
bourbon at the movies last night, and I felt great.
Sounds like projecting.
It does feel like projecting. Bander SN Super Chats says, fun fact, Prime 4 will be out closer to Switch 2's release than Odyssey was to Switch 1 by a whole month. Switch 2 launch window is crazy.
That is crazy.
They've had a hell of a year so far.
You just reminded me that Deltarune came out. I've been meaning to play that for 6 months.
God damn. Yeah, you have been trying to do
Yeah.
that one.
For nothing.
Omega Buster says, for Greg, console to PC gamer, the biggest jump. Welcome to your PC home, Greg. Don't get ahead of yourself. All right, I'm just having fun over here playing my games. Zeke Speaks says, partner and I look forward to the weekly drop of Dispatch with the same fervor we had for Severance. I was already looking forward to Dispatch, but god damn, it's fire. We are enjoying it as well. And that's it. We got all super chats done. I'll open up kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, where you tell us what we screwed up as we screwed up. Snug says, missed Wii news. 2026, Balatro Caladron
Calandra.
is featuring our boy Ben Starr.
You know, I saw Ben Starr.
Oh, it's a calendar. They tried to write calendar.
Oh,
There you go. There you go. There's a Balatro calendar that has Ben Starr in it.
that makes sense. I saw Ben Starr posting these images on Instagram, and I didn't know what was going on, but this now makes sense.
Mega Mike corrects you and says, Andy calls Metroid Dread good, not great.
I think he says great.
That's not according to Mega Mike. I trust
Oh.
Mega Mike.
I'd say great. Even if Andy says good, I'll say great.
Okay. And that's it. Ladies, gentlemen, and bees, it's time to go do the GamesCast and find out what 10 games make me, or whatever the fuck it's called. 10 games that define me? I don't know what they call it.
to know you.
10 games to know me. That's what they call this thing. I haven't seen this trend until we did this trend, and then it took over the Reddit and all that stuff. So I don't know. Everybody, this has been another episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily. Remember, each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, and podcast services around the globe. If you love that, pick up a Kind of Funny membership, patreon.com/kindoffunny, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Apple and Spotify, so that you can get us ad-free, keep the lights and the mics on, and of course, get your daily dose of me while you get good karma for supporting an 11-person small business in an ever-changing media landscape. Remember, of course, we are far from done here. You're about to get the one, the only Kind of Funny Gamescast, as I talked about. Then, of course, it's just the gameplay stream. Yeah, okay. Kind of Funny podcast is tomorrow. I knew there was a podcast out of place today. Then you get the gameplay stream of the NVIDIA Arc Raiders sponsored thing, or the NVIDIA sponsored Arc Raider stream. For now, though, we will bid you adieu as we get ready to talk about 10 games that define me. What?
Oh, nothing.
You looking at you. It looked like you got breaking news, and then I thought you inhaled like you were about to tell me the breaking news.
Yeah, no, I was getting ready for the handshake.
Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Gotta lock on, you know.